All right, you're listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is your neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe. Go check them out for tasty food, cold drinks, and an awesome atmosphere. Thank you for taking the Glebe Central Pub shuttle to all Sens games. They'll be back again next season. So will we. This was game 82. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Pillar as always, and we've got at Laleem's Martian joining us for the Postcast, the final one of the 2022-23 season, and it was pretty indicative of the entire Ottawa Senators season. The score, 3-2, 4-3. It's a loss for the Ottawa Senators in overtime. Pilsy, this had good, this had bad. It had great moments and bad ones. It really was the season in a nutshell.
Yeah, roller coaster ride, much like the Sens have put all us fans throughout the 2022-2023 season. But at least, Ross, you know what? We can spin zone it. Sure, it was a loss, but it was still a Sens win slightly with the greatest goalie in Sens history, most likely riding off into the sunset with a W. That was nice to see for Anderson. Ross, like you mentioned, it's important that the team, the Sens that is, went out and congratulated him, kind of gave him his respect. They did that, and we got to see a little bonus hockey with some OT. So am I disappointed it didn't get a win to cap things off? Yes, but we'll spin this into something with a lot of great storylines and an entertaining way to end off this year.
Yeah, and Pilsy, all the main characters were involved here
Big
tonight
time.
too, right? You got Tim Stützle scoring his 90th point of the season. You got Claude Giroux scoring his 35th goal of the year. A couple really nice milestones there for the team. So I love it, buddy. Yeah, this a little bit of a microcosm here, this one.
We're going to discuss the game itself. We're going to discuss the season as a whole. And obviously with the loss, there's no goggles to hand out tonight. So we're going to ask, who was the Ottawa Senators MVP this season? Now, an immediate reaction, it's Tim Stützle. I mean, the superstar himself. And shout out John Abbott, Jamie McLennan, the boys on the broadcast. We'll get into them later. But that seems like an easy choice. But man, Claude Giroux makes it awfully difficult to me. Brady Chuck makes it awfully difficult to me.
I'd even throw Jake Sanderson in there, Ross.
You want to put that as the fourth option?
Yeah, I mean, emerging as this team's number one defenseman as a rookie. Sheesh.
Pretty good. Martian, what's your call?
Yeah, no, I like what Pilsy just said right there. I think Jake Sanderson's a good fourth option, but my overall call would be Brady Tkachuk for me, just the way he drags the boys in. This whole team identity is revolving around him. Even Tim Stützle, who's like the skilled, European player, you're not expecting him to come in with all that bite. Brady just teaches him the ways. He said, "This is how we play Senators hockey," and Timmy's following suit big time. I just love his development's going to be nuts, and it's all because of Brady Tkachuk. I think as good as he is.
The only players with more points in a single season than Tim Stützle, Danny Heatley twice, Jason Spezza twice, Daniel Alfredson once, and Alexei Yashin once. And I shouldn't even say Spezza twice. It's Spezza once because the other one was 90 points. So even, not more than Tim Stützle this season. And he did it at 22 years old. Jason Spezza put up 90 points. Timmy does it his age 20 season. I know he turned 21 halfway through, but this is considered his age 20 season. It's honestly ridiculous what we saw from Tim Stützle tonight, including that one-timer goal. And to your point, Pilsy, Jake Sanderson, I know we're not going chronologically right now, but this is the play of the game, if you ask me. Jake Sanderson makes the defense penalty killers know that the shot's coming. He gets one on net, comes back up, and what does he do? Full body fake like he's going to shoot, and then just flips his wrists over, and it's right in the wheelhouse. 20/20 vision over to Tim Stützle. Absolutely filthy. And to your point, just proving how solid he's become. And I tweeted out afterwards, like, I don't care if Shabbat's healthy. I don't care if Chikrin's healthy. Like, this is your number one quarterback on the power play next season. No?
I agree. Yeah, 100%. Especially Ross. I just have so much more confidence with Sanderson bringing that puck up ice than I do Shabbat. And that's not a knock on Shabbat. It's more a nod to Jake Sanderson, how good he is. And Shabbat also has done a real good job of doing that kind of fake shot and then sliding it over to either Timmy or Norris or whoever's on that flank there. But Sanderson does it a little bit better, even right now, Martian. Like, it seems like he's already got it a little smoother and he fools the penalty killers just that much more than Shabbat does.
Yeah, I completely agree, and it's a scary thought that we're talking about this right now because we almost don't want anyone to know about this before we get him into his extension that's coming up, right? Like, I mean, you got to get it done this summer, right? Because who knows what he's going to turn into next year.
Agreed.
This is rookie year, and all year long, he was getting better and better and better and better. So, yeah, you got to be careful with that, I guess. But it's great that we have him on the team, right, boys? So away we go.
I think that he and Tim Stützle should sit down and just talk about job security. And you know what? Anything can happen. So just lock up for 8 years at whatever they're going to offer you and just go from there. Right? Right?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean,
That'll work.
Number 85, why not go for 8.5 mil? Call it a day.
I mean, that's pretty high for what the Senators have available in terms of long term, but
I'm talking if you go 8 by 8. 8 by 8.5.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be down for that.
And I don't know. Some players are a little superstitious too, right, Pilsy? They like having their number in their contract for whatever reason. Maybe you sneak one in there and try that one.
There we go.
I'd take that all day.
Oh, man. There's so much good. There was a lot of bad in this game as well. And where do you guys want to start? Like, Pilsy, I guess I'll ask you this. What was your number one storyline from this game outside of Tim Stützle reaching 90 points? Cha-ching. Claude Giroux reaching 35 goals? Cha-ching. Career high for him. Like, what else to you stood out, whether it's from this game or a storyline that's continued from the whole season through tonight?
Yeah, I was going to go with the Giroux one there, but...
Did he kick that or no?
I mean, boys, it's a goalie-friendly show here. It's got to be Craig Anderson. I know it's not a Sens-related topic, but, I mean, that's the one you probably want to jump right into, Pilsy. Like, that was the major storyline, and based on the way they were finishing this game with all the hugs and kisses and kind of him lingering around on the ice, it seems like that's going to be the last one he's ever going to play, right? So
yeah,
I think, I mean, maybe we didn't know it throughout the game that was going to be his last game. And I know he kind of tweaked his knee or something. It looked like at one point, and he stayed in there. So that's something.
It's confirmed. Not that you would have your family down on the ice or whatever. Craig Anderson confirming post game.
Yeah,
this is it. What a career! What a career for Craig Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, like, to play goalie in the NHL into your 40s is wild. Like, I couldn't even imagine doing that, honestly. Like,
how quick would you hurt yourself if you tried to play when you were 40?
Oh, Martian, I can't even play now, and I'm a young 30. So I don't know how Craig Anderson does it. And having his family there, having Nicole and the kids there, like even like I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional because Craig Anderson has gone through a lot. Bill Masterton Award winner, like this is a guy that really, really showed his commitment to the game of hockey, and he gets rewarded with that with a great send off. It sucks. It's a win up against the Sens, but I'm glad the Sens got to be a part of that, and Sens fans kind of got to witness it. So it's okay.
And I wasn't expecting to have to for us to feel that or to witness that, right? Like I almost kind of overlooked that storyline completely until it was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It was really nice to see, and I think any Sens fan who's been watching the Sens for the last, like, I guess, decade almost, like that's the goalie you've been used to watching play for the Sens, and he was always very good. So good career, great guy, and great family, I think, too.
And outside of this Senators game, like he hadn't played since March 21st, and he let in 6 goals on 20 shots. So that's not how he wanted to go out. Funny enough, his last win outside of this against Toronto, which is just apropos because he always beat the Leafs with the Ottawa Senators. But overall, just an unbelievable career. Craig Anderson finishes his NHL career with 319 wins. I want to say that's top 5 among U.S.-born goalies. U.S. goalies.
Got to be close.
It's got to be. It is number 5.
There we go.
Top 5.
That's in games played and wins. Thank you for both. The only ones with more, Tom Barrasso, John Van Beesbrook, Jonathan Quick, and another former Sabre wearing
Ryan
the
Miller.
coat head then. Ryan Miller, very appropriate there. What a career. What a guy. I mean, we got more to get into this game, but beast mode, like so many great moments, so many great memories for the Ottawa Senators. And I'm pretty sure he's like top 5 in NHL history in save percentage. Now, I know they only started tracking it more recently than other stats, but
hey, listen, you pull these stats out of nowhere, and usually you're right, Ross. So you probably heard more and it hung with you. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're correct there. You're like,
it's so funny when you go to all-time leaders for goalies, it goes to points first. It doesn't.
That's what every goalie is looking for, Ross.
Yeah.
That doesn't make much sense to me. I guess this year kind of put him down a little bit, so never mind. Maybe it was playoffs. Let me check playoffs. Can I check playoffs?
Why not?
Playoffs?
It's the end of his career.
I did.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
3rd highest save percentage in Stanley Cup playoff history. Now, again, it was only started to get tracked a little bit later. Only Tim Thomas and Jonas Hiller have higher save percentage in the Stanley Cup playoffs than Craig Anderson's 929. A purveyor of great moments for the Ottawa Senators. All right. Okay. That's enough of that for now because we got a lot of Sens storylines to get into. Pilsy, did Claude Giroux kick that puck in the net?
No, he redirected it. And we were talking about that in the group chat, guys. Like, I could see why a Sabres fan would be upset. If that was called no goal on the ice, I don't think it gets overturned into a goal. But the fact it's called a goal, and Giroux more does a sideways, like I immediately was like, that's like a soccer pass. Like when you use the side of your foot to just gently pass it over in like a nothing pass, like just moving the ball back and forth like they do a million times in a soccer game. And he just happens to redirect it perfectly under Craig Anderson's legs. So for me, it's a good goal.
Yeah. Well, hey, people forget, man, the pucks are hard. That hurts. So obviously when it hits your foot, man, your foot's going to move, no?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a textbook touch pass, like Pilsy was saying, like soccer. And I think that part of it, too, was it was almost accidental. Like he was maybe trying to get that puck to his stick somehow, like by doing that, but it just didn't slow down enough and just went flying into the net. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely don't think he could do that on purpose with a kicking motion towards the net. So, good goal in my opinion, too. And I'm glad they didn't take that one back because that's a career high, boys, and that's what we like to see.
Well, that's a career high for Giroux, and that's the play where Tim Stützle got his 90th point of the season.
True.
So
2 nice milestones then in that one. So you can't take that away from us.
No, you really can't. I mean, that's all we had to hang on to despite the Ottawa Senators' high hopes going into the season. Vegas was right on the money. Vegas had Ottawa at 86.5 points over under, and the overtime decided it in game 82. Like, that's ridiculous.
That is odds making right there. Holy.
Ooh. Wow.
I guess we should pay more attention to that.
Our guy, Ferg.
Ferg found the button.
Woo.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you.
We appreciate everyone who joins the Postcast all year long. Like,
Yeah.
this is probably going to be the least organized Postcast. There's lots of emotions that we're just trying to get out here. Game 82.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm here, so I throw everything into a mixer. So
That's okay, Martian. Cheers to that.
You got the health drinks going too. I just had a coffee like an hour ago. I've been buzzing today all day. But you look at what
right.
this season was like. Doesn't this game feel like the season? Like, okay. On that note, I do want to get into Matt Sogaard, but first, the Glebe Central Pub's been with us all year long, and we love our friends at the Glebe Central Pub, 779 Bank Street. It's been such a treat getting to have local sponsors take up with the podcast. It just kind of makes us feel more a part of the community. We truly love it. We rode the Glebe Central Pub bus, and Pilsy, I'm saying it right now, brother. We will be riding the Glebe Central bus to the CTC to see Craig Anderson's name go in the Ring of Honor this season. We got to do that. Glebe Central Pub, the shuttle goes to and from games. Thank you for using it this season. And next year, it's back. So head there all summer long, get a cold drink, have a good time at the Glebe Central Pub. You can find them at 779 Bank Street. And when you go, make sure you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. We appreciate our friends at the Glebe Central Pub. Go check them out at the Glebe Central Pub. Pilsy, you got a quick word from FanDuel?
Absolutely. This is also brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel, the #1 sportsbook in North America, a official partner of the Locked On Podcast Network, and that's where I go to make my sports wagers. And it was a tough one if you had the Sens money line, but there's so many other ways you can get in on the action. You can do goalie saves. So maybe you thought Craig Anderson was going to have a hot night. Hit the goalie saves on that one. You can do first team to 5 shots. That's what I like to do. Or a same game parlay for a bigger chance at a bigger payout. That's why we love our friends over at FanDuel. Check out the app. It's safe, simple, secure, easy to use. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to check out everything that FanDuel has to offer, not just hockey, baseball, basketball, football, golf, whatever you're into, you can find it at FanDuel. So FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
All right, back to the Postcast. Sens lose 4-3 in overtime. The Ottawa Senators got goals tonight from Tim Stützle, his 39th of the season. Dylan Gambrell, his 4th of the season, to pass Mathieu Joseph. And then Claude Giroux's 35th of the season as well. Igor Sokolov gets his first NHL assist. Max Gannett gets his first NHL game. Lots to break down from that, even though Pilsy, the under hit for Max Gannett ice time, only 8:47 in this game. But I'm gonna throw a little trivia at Martian this time. Give Pilsy a trivia break. And it's not even trivia. It's more of a guessing game.
Okay.
Martian, what do you think the response is through 100 votes on the poll for Senators MVP this season?
I'm going to guess Tim Stützle is probably my guess that people voted for.
But by how much?
He probably got 40% of the vote.
Close. 44% of the vote.
Well, Price is right. That's a great guess.
Okay.
Gotta hit the under there.
Claude Giroux hits 36%. Brady Tkachuk 19%, and 2% to Jake Sanderson, which is just absolutely ridiculous when you expect what a rookie should be. Jake Sanderson has exceeded every expectation. Now, I said I wanted to get into Mad Sogaard. And I think there's a lot of ways we can go down this path. 19 games for Mad Sogaard this season. We said 20 after he had already started. But just to put this in perspective, David Riddick, who's been the Winnipeg Jets backup goalie all season, they haven't called up a goalie once. He's been their backup goalie all season. Played 20 games. Mad Sogaard, this was an unprecedented role for him to come into as a 22-year-old. Now, if I had to sum up his season in one sentence, Pilsy, and I want your reaction to this, big saves, bad goals.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, because if you look at all the games, and that's why I know people were getting on me when Mads would let in 5, and I'd be like, man, he made some big saves, though. And it's like, well, who cares? He lost 5-2 to a team he should have beat. But he has that ability to make those big saves, like that arm save that he made on Skinner out front, where Skinner gets the backhand and he just dives and gets the arm up. Like, that was massive. He had a big breakaway save. He was making things tough for Tage Thompson, who had a bunch of shots in this one. Like, he's able to have those moments, but it's just about staying consistent. And Ross, not only bad goals, but I'll take it a step further. Bad timing goals. Like there's been so many times where Sogaard's been playing nice. He has a couple big saves, but then at a moment where the Sens cannot afford to lose momentum, he lets in a squeaker, and that's where it's tough. And again, this may sound all negative, but this is a young goalie who was tossed into a situation he likely was not anticipating he would be in this season. So it's a lot to put on him, and we're still cheering for Mads. As Brady said, this is the goalie of the future, most likely, where the Sens are sitting now. I still believe it's just going to take a little time.
I don't think I don't think anyone should be giving up on Matt Sogaard. I don't want to see any
Absolutely
of that
not.
all
Yeah.
summer. I think he showed so well in certain situations. Tonight, yeah, you probably want at least one, if not two, of those goals in the second period back. And it's unfortunate that the first one, it looked really bad because it hit his glove. But then you watch on the replay, and I thought Noodles, and we know Noodles just like us, big time goalie hugger, but he made the point that like Alex Tuck's a moving screen there. That's kind of tough, but it hits his glove, so it doesn't look great. Then the next one, Tyler Clevin gets a tip on it by accident. So he has to all of a sudden drop down, and it just squeaks through again. Looks uncomposed, I guess. Discombobulated, another word. But like it just didn't look great. But I mean, he made some 10-bell glove saves in this one as well.
Yeah, that's a 22-year-old 6'6" or 6'7", however tall he is, goalie that it's still very raw, and he's looking good. Like the big saves he's making are huge, and those bad goals are goals that are gonna probably go away as he gets older, I feel like. So I'm not worried about him one bit at all. I'm not sure if he's gonna be the guy next year, though. You know what I mean? Like you kind of want to bring in help. I don't know if we want to jump into that, but probably not. You guys got a lot of off-season time to fill, so maybe we won't.
Yeah, we'll save that squeeze for another day.
We could make a whole episode out of that one.
Yeah, that's a spicy meatball right there.
We'll do that with exit interviews, Ross, as our new segment, off-season segment. Just a quick plug here before we move on, Ross. We're going to do exit interview style profiles for each player. So we're going to act as if it's the end of the season there. We're going to react to how they did, what we want them to work on in the offseason, and expectations moving forward. So that's going to be fun off-season segment we're going to try out here.
However, we're also going to add something to it, and I'm just kind of volunteering more of his time. But I'm going to reach out to Meth, and I'm going to see if I can sit down with him for just 20 minutes, and I'm just going to say a name to him and give him to say like a minute, and then I'm going to plug that into our episode. So we'll get a hit of meth on each player.
Meth minute. Minute meth hit.
No, a meth minute. A meth.
Yeah. And Ross, we should set it up as if he's like a street reporter. Like, now we're going to head down to the CTC and hear from Meth about Eric Brandstrom's season.
Yeah, well, that's the perfect player to throw to him with, right?
He'll need more than a minute.
Yeah, 100%. But hey, if you missed our episode today, go check it out with Mark Mathot. Great stuff there from Math. He's such a good guy, and we appreciate a lot of people did reach out to him through Twitter, tagged us as well.
He's all right. He's not that good of a guy. You know, he did block me yesterday for fun. So
what a sick joke that was, hey?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
He got you though.
He did get me because I was a little bit rattled, but I mean, we sorted that out. But it was pretty funny. Yeah, I for context, people who probably didn't see that, because probably most of the people listening didn't see it. I just said that I would be upset if a Sen or a former Sen ended up blocking me, because that was like a conversation that was going on. And then he blocked me and then screenshotted it underneath that thread. So I was like, oh, yeah, he wanted to hurt my feelings. That's our relationship. That's what we do.
That's all. Just busting balls with the boys. It's all good.
Yeah, I roast him all the time, so I deserve it.
Yeah.
Pilsy, how are you going to remember this season?
You know what? I'm going to remember it as a necessary step, because the thing that I always look back to, Ross, is in the summer, the fans, a lot of the players, the hype was through the roof. We were so elated that Alex DeBrincat's here, Claude Giroux's here, Jake Sanderson's going to start playing. We have two veteran goalies. Vibes were absolutely high, which is awesome. They should have been. But where it all makes sense, and I keep looking back, is Claude Giroux. When they interviewed him, and I forget which reporter was so excited, being like, you got to be stoked about the moves Pierre Dorion has made, the team you're coming to, et cetera, kind of feeding him into saying how good this team is going to be. And Claude starts it off with saying, hey, look, it's been a lot of positives, but we got a long way to go here. Like we're still working on a lot of things, and this is before he's played any games, and he has the veteran kind of experience to be like, we can't just fall for all this hype. It is damn hard to make it to the playoffs, and this team has been out of it and far out of it for a long time. So I think that's the thing, is growth is a slow process. It can be painful sometimes, but it's much better, in my opinion, to go through these growing pains slowly and learn from it and build on it, rather than have a quick jump to success. And the thing I'll always refer to is, look what happened to the Leafs. They got their guys. They had instant success, but we haven't seen them win a single playoff round in 7 straight years. So I would rather build properly, build slowly, and that's what this step was, a big building block.
Martian, how are you going to remember the season?
I will have fond memories, Ross. I mean, went to plenty of games. I think they were a very entertaining team to watch. First of all, like that's the number one thing for me as a fan, is I'm not watching the early 2000s New Jersey Devils out there barely scrap away to get their wins with 2 goals kind of deal. We got a team that likes to get physical. We got a team that likes to score a lot of goals. I mean, they're one of 3 teams in the NHL who has 335 goal scorers or more, right? So, and the other 2 are Toronto and Edmonton, obviously. But I mean, this team is great to watch, right? And the wins will come. And there was a few slumpy moments and a couple ones that they got away from them. But other than that, there's a lot of room for improvement, and I truly believe it's going to happen next year for sure. Playoffs are the expectations now. I think we were all talking about maybe just playing those important games late in the season. I think that was a realistic expectation, and that's exactly what they did. And that consistent growth is just gonna keep going here. It's not slowing down, that's for sure. You talked about the Leafs making that big jump right away. Well, the Sens are taking a more consistent path up, and I think that their ceiling for what they can do going on getting into the playoffs and going on a bit of a run and being a headache for other teams is more potent than what the Leafs have going on over there. I think, especially if the Sens can get a little help in the goaltending situation, because that seems to be the Leafs' main struggle right now, and I think that's going to be a trend too.
No excuses next season, though.
There can't be. There can't be. No. They're gonna have their roster set, unless somehow all 3 of Timmy. Actually, I'm not even going to say it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, like that's the only way anything could go wrong is if there's injuries. So other than that,
stat of the season, is it 21-2 with Alex DeBrincat scoring, or is it 0-2 when Dylan Gambrell scores?
I mean, you get those points, and this is looking different here.
Oh my God, Nicholas, thank you, appreciate it. Hell of a season from deep in enemy territory. So much pressure. Ron mentioned there's so much pressure for next season. So much pressure, and I don't want to hear the N-word until the 1st of November. I really don't.
Okay.
That is what the Ottawa Senators.
I don't ever want to hear the N-word.
November?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, 4-9-1 in that month this past year.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm going to be extremely nervous until about November 15th.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope they bang out a couple wins right away in early in next season in November, and then you can kind of just toss that curve aside.
It's going to be such a scary first game.
But at this point, that's 2 years in a row where it's kind of cost them quite a bit, So I think that this time they're really going to have to bear down.
They better not have
just insane if they did it again.
Oh man,
you need the season to start in early October so they can have more of a build-up before November. Because didn't they win 4 games going into November this year, that first homestand?
Yeah, they did. You know what, Ross? We should petition, and I think this is going to get a lot of traction. All-Star game and All-Star break in November. Why not? Why not get it done earlier? Before all the injuries happen, just do it right off the hop. Take that week off in November.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea. But
thank you. Yeah.
October can't come soon enough, right?
Oh,
yeah, we're hungry for it now. Like this is like leaving a little bit of a bitter taste in our mouth at the end of this year, right? It's like that this team is pretty much right there with the rest of the teams that are making the playoffs. I mean, Florida, we always kind of thought like they're a little bit more of a veteran team, so they made that extra push at the end of the year just to barely squeak in, and they kind of got dragged into it by another Tkachuk, right? So who's to say Brady can't do something similar for the Sens? It's gonna happen next year, and we just gotta wait now. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas is 365 days away for us here. So,
Yeah.
when you wait,
Especially without the draft being important for the Sens. Like normally we're like, okay, the season's over. Hell yeah. Like this is going to be an awesome off season. The draft's going to be huge.
we
So
do have a couple fifth round picks, if I'm not mistaken, right, Ross?
Oh, two sevenths. And
could be a sixth.
Gosh.
well, by the way, yeah, make sure you're tuned in on Sunday to Locked On Senators on the YouTube. I might even make it I'll see how long it is, but I think we'll make it an audio bonus episode as well. Put a couple ad locators in there. But I think you guys are going to enjoy John Chick's sell job. Actually, I didn't even explain the situation.
Yeah.
I reached out to all of the Locked On, Martian, I don't think you even know this. I reached out to all the Locked On hosts of teams that are making the playoffs, and I asked them to send me a 90-second to 2-minute video on saying, starting like this. I actually told them the exact start. I said,
Producer Ross over here.
"Hey, Sens fans, I'm blank with Locked On Blanks, and here's why our bandwagon is perfect for you." So just to sell Sens fans on their team.
Yeah, good
Can't
idea.
wait to see what Locked On Leafs comes up with. I'm very excited.
That's
Yeah,
going to be
that'll
tough. And I'll say it right now: if any of you are listening and thinking about jumping on that bandwagon, you're sick in the head. You should go to the doctor. That's a big mistake. It'd be like, it's as bad as it gets as far as being a fan of a team and trying to cheer for another team. Like, it's bad enough as it is. Like, that's a desperate measure. And if you're choosing the Leafs, then I can't help you. You got something wrong with you.
Martian, who's your team going to be?
I'm not going to have one. I think I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to cheer for individual players. I think the Sens abroad are always fun to watch, right, Ross?
We got that coming up for you, Martian.
You talked a little bit about that with Meth. So, I mean, I'll be watching out for Stone. I think it's very hilarious that he's coming back for the first game of the playoffs. Like, oh, what a miracle. His back is all of a sudden all better. Circumvent the cap rule. Pretty funny there, but
More like
Mark I'll go ahead and say it. That's a little bit of captain shit right there, Ross, from Mark Stone.
True.
Take a little seat, let the boy, and we thought Gabe Landeskog was pulling the same move, but he turned out to be actually hurt. So
that sucks.
I
can tell you, I'm cheering against Mark Stone.
Really?
What?
Yeah, because they're playing Winnipeg.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, that's very surprising to hear you say.
I'm all.
But for me,
I might have to get a Vlad Namestnikov jersey as my Sens abroad.
Second
on the Jets.
Yeah.
Why not your buddy Dylan DeMello?
Yeah, my future neighbor. Well,
Yeah.
he's in the mix too.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, though, if there's one team that even during the regular season that I would toss on just for the straight up entertainment value of it all, it's the Edmonton Oilers, right? Where Pilsy, like, to be able to throw them on and watch Connor McDavid, and he's probably the best hockey player, we're ever going to see or definitely have seen to this point as far as his like skills and speed and everything goes. So that's the one team I watch with, and I think he's going to get a cup eventually. So why not this year? I think he could easily.
Oh, there we go.
I'm all in, boys. Round one.
Hell yeah.
I'm all in. Round one.
That's an easy choice as well.
Let's go.
Big time easy choice. I'm on the Jets. If there's going to be one Canadian team that I don't mind seeing win, I think it's the Winnipeg Jets. We got to support our guy over in Manitoba there. And, I mean, I do have a future on them, so I wouldn't mind winning a couple shekels too. And then in the East, I'm all Rangers. This team is built to last in the playoffs. Goaltending, defense, depth. They added amazing veterans in Kane and Tarasenko at the deadline. Like, they're ready to roll. So those are my two teams, Jets and Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers are a little bit of a dark horse in the East, don't you think, Pilsy? Because there's some big, powerful teams in that in that conference that no one's really talking about. So
yeah, I mean the Metro teams are good, and I do take them seriously, but I just feel like the Rangers have so much more pedigree than those two teams have. You know what I mean? Like it would be beneath them to lose to those other little brother Metro division teams.
And what a nice series that they probably have. I think it's probably set by now, but they're going to play the Devils, right?
Yeah,
so
that'll be good.
Did the Devils lose tonight?
Here, I can tell you.
I saw one earlier that I was like, if the scores stated what they are, then this is the series, and this is what
the Devils won 5-4 in overtime. Interesting.
What about Carolina?
Carolina won 6-4.
So you're right.
Yeah, Devils Rangers is going to be a great series. I do believe then it would be the Islanders and Carolina would be another series.
We're going to
And
get
then
Boston, Florida.
Florida, Boston. And so you get all the divisional matchups. This is the way this wild card is supposed to be set up, right? Like that's why they use that format is for these type of matchups. And I think it worked like a charm this time for sure.
Okay. Pilsy, can I bring up one more thing? Oh, first, we can't control life. Really appreciate that. We appreciate you've been in the postcast all season long. It means a lot to us, and we appreciate that. Pilsy, I just want to get to a quick conversation because we talked about a lot today with Matt, the play-in series, and I just want to mention because people are like, oh, then the regular season doesn't matter. Technically, and like you said, Buffalo plays tomorrow as well. But if Ottawa had won tonight and Buffalo lost tomorrow, they would have made the play-in. So like these games would have still mattered for the 9-10. Anyways, I just thought that it just adds.
I like that. I like that idea too, Ross. But I think, I was listening to that earlier today, and I think Meth was right. I think it's the PA thing. Like if they agree to it, they just don't want to play more games. It's like, but that would be so fun.
It'd be so fun. Like I thought I was gonna hate the idea in the NBA, but I was locked in last night to that Raptors game, and I still can't get DeRozan's daughter shrieking out of my head. That was some of the imagine paying $400 for a ticket and you sit right in front of her. I would have absolutely lost my marbles. Old man yells at cloud. I know.
You only had to hear it 36 times that night. Is that too many?
It worked though. Jeez.
That's the thing. Like you can't really hate on it. Anyways, follow Locked On Raptors. I'm sure they're fired up about it with
Sean will love that. Yeah.
Oh my God, for sure. All right, cool. So tonight's game. Let's get to tonight's game. We haven't even done our Central Standouts presented by the Glebe Central Pub. Let's do that. If you're in the chat, we're not going anywhere. If you're listening, we'll be right back. You're listening to Locked On Senators. All right, it's the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. Central Standouts after a 4-3 overtime loss in Buffalo to the Sabres to end the season exactly how they started it. A 1-goal loss to Buffalo. This time they pushed it to overtime. Martian, start with you. What is your Central standout? You're first.
Oh, thanks for tossing it to me first, Ross, because I'm going to make no mistake here. It's got to be Tim Stützle for me. He's got it. He's the guy with the multi-point night, a goal and an assist, 90 points on his season. That's a huge milestone, and the guys were trying to tee him up for that. It's too bad he didn't hit the 40-goal marker, although 39 is nothing to sneeze at either. He could basically say he was a 40-goal scorer. It's close enough. I'm sure he had one disallowed at one point this year, right? So and he played over 22 minutes as well, boys. So he was in the mix on the power play and the penalty kill. He was buzzing around out there, making moves. The thing about Timmy that people don't really realize is he's a bit of a physical player. Like he doesn't shy away from it one bit. And he's winning more and more battles. And I thought tonight he battled hard. So Tim Stützle went out with a bang. I love it. He's my standout.
Did you think that hit from Okposo was clean?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah? Oh, I thought it was interference.
Well, Timmy he touched it. He got his head down a little bit, and he didn't think he was going to get clocked like that. I think if it was the other way around, I'm not saying I really love the hit by Okposo either. Like last game of the year, that's our best player. He's 21 years old, and you're going to friggin' hit him high like that. It was a little high, maybe. That would be my only complaint.
Especially as a fourth line guy for Okposo. Settle down, bud.
Yeah, but he's the captain, man. He's got to lead by example out there. So
yeah, I've always liked him as a player.
But the thing,
Long Island days, it was that line with him, Tavares, and Molson, right back in the day.
Yeah, and the thing I really liked about that, Ross, and I think this is something you pointed out on Twitter, was right after that hit, Tkachuk could have easily gone after Okposo straight away, but instead he goes, no, screw you. And he goes by the bench and he goes, okay, Owen Power, you're getting smoked next shift. Tage Thompson, keep your head up out there because he's going for their skill, guys. Now it's an eye for an eye, and I appreciate that tactic.
So old school. Old school. Pilsy, you go ahead.
Although, man, Martian, tough task, Brady, eyeing down those superstars. They're massive. Tage Thompson and Owen Power. It's not like we're going after your little skill guy. Like, I'm coming after the 6'7", 210-pound, 90-point guy.
If he really wanted to do that, he could grab Casey Middlestat. And I know Tage Thompson's daddy's tough, but I don't think he's as tough as he is. So I think Brady would have no problem grabbing either of those guys and giving them a beatdown that they deserve if that's the case. No problem.
Big time. If you're snapping it over to me, Ross, I'll take kind of the next obvious answer, at least in my opinion, and that's Claude Giroux. I mean, who would have thought he gets a career high in goals in his first year with the Sens at age 35, he gets 35 goals. And I know it's not necessarily a beautiful hockey goal, but it's just one of those things.
Come on.
And
The setup was.
yeah, the set, but I'm talking about the goal.
Fair.
But this is just yet another parallel to Alfie. Like, I feel like Alfie would be that kind of just pure athlete where you can make that happen and have it go perfectly in and still get it to count. And it's just epic. And you guys know me, I love to credit the assist. That assist by Timmy to get that play started. Oh my God, that was incredible. And Claude Giroux is going to finish that off more often than not, even if it's in a kind of unconventional way right there for Claude Giroux. So I thought he played another good game. And one of the big reasons why he was brought onto this team, you guys know where I'm going with this, face-offs. He was 62% in the dot. That's how you lead a team. And I know we should probably get a counter of how many times we said this, but I still can't believe Claude Giroux is an Ottawa Senator. Like, what a blessing. My goodness.
I love Claude Giroux. My favorite. I don't know how the Sens existed before Claude Giroux.
Right? Honestly, what were we doing?
We were waiting for Claude Giroux.
True.
Feels like it. Yeah, it's really nice to have him around.
Fellas, I'm pandering.
Uh-oh.
My Sens Central standout is Craig Anderson.
Yeah,
I actually thought about maybe doing that.
Yeah.
He was so old school, Craig Anderson. He stands up tall. He kicks out pads. I don't think he's gone in a butterfly in his whole career.
No,
he's like the last remaining hybrid goalie, I think.
It's amazing.
Amazing. He's still in the cocoon. If we're talking butterflies, he's still in the cocoon there.
I like that. I don't even know where the Ottawa Senators organization would have gone if he didn't come out of nowhere as like an .897 save percentage when he got traded to Ottawa that year in Colorado. And then he just came in and just grabbed the reins and was like, come on, let's go. His first full season with the Ottawa Senators, his second full season with the Ottawa Senators, he was fourth in Vezina voting. That was the pesky Sens where they'd score 2 goals a game and Craig Anderson would stand on his head.
Didn't he have a .941 save percentage that year?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
now, 24 starts, I will say. That was the year he cut himself with frozen chicken.
Yeah.
But it was a 48-game season, so he played half the games.
Still, yeah, he was doing that year. He was doing more than just making the big saves. He was like literally making all the saves.
Man, he was kicking out saves in 2 playoff games last season with Washington.
He's a gamer. He loves it.
Yeah, he's so good. Like what a legendary guy. And it's crazy to think how long ago he started his NHL career. And as an Illinois guy, starting with Chicago, it's been a long road for Craig Anderson, and he's got a lot to be proud of in this career. My goodness. Oh,
so sick, man. So many memories come to mind of Craig Anderson, just like saves that he just frankly should not have made. And being able to do that, there was a time where it was kind of like one unbelievable year, one okay year, one amazing year, one decent year, one amazing year. But man, when that guy was locked in, there were not many goalies in the National Hockey League that could keep up with him. And I mean, the numbers show for it. Like, even it's so unfortunate, and like I hate to bring up the Hamburglar run in this light, but like if Craig Anderson played that whole series against Montreal in 2015, you had to put in Hamburglar. You had to. You did. You had to. But he kind of turned into a pumpkin game 1.
Yeah.
PK Subban bow and arrowed him from the point. Craig Anderson went in, got them the 2 wins. Even that one, it was 2-0 with an empty netter, but the game 6 loss, Craig Anderson was ridiculous. He had a .97 goals against average in 4 games and only got 2 out of 4 wins. Like, that was absolutely wild. Wow. The whole career was unbelievable. Now, people in the chat starting to get this discussion going, so I'll ask you. I think I'm pretty firm on where I am. I'm a Ring of Honor guy. Are either of you guys thinking of retiring number 41?
Martian?
Oh, retiring? It's tough, man. This is like as close as I've ever been to being like no. I think it's still a no, but it's close. Is Ring of Honor, if they they're going to boot that back up with Redden now. So I think that's the perfect thing for him. But if they did it, I wouldn't be mad. Like, whatever. It's
Brian Murray. It's Wade Redden. Like, doesn't Craig Anderson just feel like he should be in that group?
Yeah. For me, it's that's what it is. I don't think he can retire it. I just don't think he can.
I'm Ring of Honor.
And goalies are different, I know, but he played 435 games with Ottawa. The only guys who are in the rafters with Ottawa.
That's a good amount.
I know it is. That's the most by a Sens goalie?
It's gotta be
easily.
I think, yeah, by a lot.
Yeah, like it's not even close.
Yeah, the next guy
Who's
probably
the next guy?
300 probably.
Patty Lalime, 283.
Yeah.
And then it's another big drop off. Damian Rhodes with 181.
Yeah, man.
It just kind of shows you the longevity of Craig Anderson too, and like grabbing the bull by the horns. Ray Emery is 5th in games played with the Ottawa Senators. Like they don't have a lot of goalies who have played a lot. He's played 134 games. He's 5th.
That's not even 2 seasons.
I guess I should mention Ron Tugnut then too, because he's the only guy in the top 5 I didn't. Like Brian Elliott's 6th. Anton Forsberg is 9th.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So
it's nuts.
Mike Condon is 10th, just to finish off that point. Like,
there we go.
There's not a lot of goalies that have played a decent chunk of games with the Ottawa Senators. So, man,
you can't do it, I don't think.
Yeah,
you can.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he wasn't able. If he ends his career in Ottawa, I might change my tune. But
wait, not like one-day contract.
I mean,
no. I meant if he doesn't move on and they re-sign him and all that kind of stuff, maybe that's different.
I think we could talk ourselves into accepting it for sure, but I don't think that's the right move right now.
Agreed.
I wouldn't. No, I think I would dislike it.
Goalie friendly show though, maybe we should.
Yeah, you know what? Retire it.
Yeah.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Retire Lalime's number while we're at it too.
Yeah, great playoff performer.
And what? Ray Emery retire his number?
Yeah, actually, Hasek. No one should ever wear 39 again.
Let's retire every goalie's number.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, one and done. Wear it out.
That's really goalie friendly though.
That's extremely goalie friendly. Let's get some questions. What's your biggest burning question going in to the offseason?
Let's chat. Let's get into it.
Let's chat. Oh my God, Ron Gaudette. This is a wild one to start with. Where does Matt O'Connor fall in Sens history? They actually brought his name up on Chicklets the other day for the absolute flub he made.
They forgot his name. They couldn't actually bring it up. They didn't actually call out his name. They were just wondering who it was. They said the Ottawa goalie.
You know, he only played one game for the Ottawa Senators, and it was the home opener in 2016.
Yeah, but man, this is Ross. Back in our Making Sense of the Sens, powered by Sens Central days, we did an episode saying who was the most disappointing Sens prospect that you could remember that always haunts you. And Matt O'Connor was mine, because I know that's probably a bit of a stretch. There's so many other guys you could go, but I remember being so hyped, being like, this college goalie, he could have chose anywhere. He wanted to come to Ottawa. They need a young goalie. Look at those numbers down in college. He's going to come up here. He's going to be so good. And oh boy.
Who is mine? Maybe Brian Lee?
I think you were Brian Lee.
Yeah.
That's going to be high up there because there were so many good players drafted after him, and he was so off the board.
And he went to North Dakota. Like, come on, don't put a bad taste in
True.
such a great pipeline.
Yeah, but they drafted him not out of North Dakota, out of
high school.
Yeah, Minnesota high school.
Oh, true. Yeah.
He was one of those guys probably doing the hair videos, you know.
Yeah, big time.
Minnesota hockey hair.
Dan said while we're on the retire train, retire Tom Barrasso's number. What, you want to stop? Want me to stop the ones going wide too? And the Hamburglar?
I would Ring of Honor Hamburglar.
I would Ring of Honor Hamburglar.
I don't hate that either.
Right?
That's a great story. Like
it should be for moments. Put it right next to the pizza line. It could just be the concession area.
The lore of the team. You know, that's what it's for. You do like a giant mural of all these moments.
No, it has to be him. It has to be him holding up the hamburger.
100%. And even throw Curtis Lazar in the back with it in his hand too, right?
Yeah, nice.
Or his mouth.
That's actually wild. I forgot that era of the Sens fans throwing hamburgers on the ice. Like, how'd you get those into the ring?
I was doing it.
That's awesome.
Did you put it like a toothpick through them or something, or how did they make it onto the ice
once
you throw
I
it?
didn't. You just wrap them up. You just wrap them up.
Tape?
And throw it. I mean, tape would have. I think half of them just fell out of the wrappers too, right? Like,
that's rude. That's rude.
And the burger makes it, because those McDonald's burgers, they're real.
Yeah, true. If you squish them, they can stay compact. True.
You almost frisbee throw it, right? It'll make it.
Oh, our boy Sebastian, our boy Seb, putting in the hot topic issue that we haven't talked about yet.
Oh boy.
Will DJ Smith stick around as head coach of the Ottawa Senators? I don't think so. I'll answer it this way, Seb, and I hope that I'm not ducking it. I don't think a decision is made until new ownership comes in. I don't think it's going to be the classic, you see the season end, exit interviews, coach is gone. Like, I don't think it's going to be immediate. But I also I won't guarantee that he's back. But then you get into that sticky situation where if other coaches are hired, then you're not doing yourself any favors because you're not leaving yourself all the options that are out there as a coaching staff. So
yeah.
I might go even hotter than you here, Ross, and say I don't think he's done it all. I think they're going to start the season with DJ Smith and Pierre Dorion still running the show, and I think a lot of that's going to have to do with new ownership coming in and talking to the right people, and I think the players are going to be part of that, and I think that DJ Smith is going to get the vote of confidence from everybody around him, and I think that he's going to get another shot, and if it doesn't go well to start, I think he's on the hot seat immediately. Should be pretty fairly quickly if they're not winning games. But
November,
I think the teams are going to know that exactly November, and I think that the team's going to know that they're going to play hard for him. I think they like him, so I think he's still in there, boys.
I think that's a very good point, Pilsy. I want to get to your answer too, but I just want to follow up on that and say, you look at Pittsburgh, like they got new owners come in. And they still hung on.
I don't know if that's a good example, though.
No?
Multiple Stanley Cup winners under that coach, GM.
No, not the GM, because they moved.
Okay, sorry, not the GM, but that coach.
Right.
And you got
real quick.
Had a lot more success. They made the playoffs 16 years in a row.
They haven't won a series since they won the cup.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think what we're going to see is ownership's going to come in here, and they're going to say, you know what? We want to evaluate everything. We want to see how things are going. And Martian, like you mentioned, it's going to be a short leash. Like if this does not go well, they're already going to have their ducks in a row. Like it's their jobs to lose. No. Let me rephrase that. It's their jobs to hold. Like at best, they hold on to their jobs here. I don't think there's much job security because the new ownership's going to be like, we just paid north of $900 million. If we don't see the results we want and we're spending to the cap, Dorion said they're going to be a cap team. We better get results. Otherwise, we're coming in, we're bringing our guys.
And worst case scenario, you're getting fired by possibly Ryan Reynolds, which is just a hilarious story in itself. So, I mean, if it does happen, at least.
He just comes into their office with the Deadpool costume on.
Oh, my God. Like, just his voice and his delivery. Like, how could you, like, it would just be the funniest thing ever. Would he be the one doing it even? Probably not, but.
No, God, no, he wouldn't do that.
I know, but holy. They should make him do it because it would just make it easier. Who wouldn't want to be fired by Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, not bad.
If you're going to be fired by anyone, I think that would be a fun one.
Oh, it's like getting blocked by meth on Twitter.
Yeah, that wasn't that fun.
Yeah, I don't think getting fired would be very fun either. Our boy, Joe Bella.
Cool. Meth isn't an A-list actor.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, who knows what Ryan Reynolds has.
He could play the next Juggernaut.
Joe Bell asks, what do we do with Chychrun and Clevin?
The guy, Joe.
Yeah, Joe's an absolute beauty. Shout out Joe, hydro worker too. So they've been busy over the last week or two. So shout out Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Great work.
What do you do? Like for me, Chychrun's your number one pair defenseman next year.
With Sanderson?
I think.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about the power play. I was going to say you made a very bold statement about Sanderson, but yeah.
No, okay. I think it's Shabbat Chychrun is a pair, one or two.
Okay.
Yes. I agree with that 100%. And Clevin is on the team. I don't care what you say. He is good. He's good enough, and he's going to just keep getting better and better. So
he's so poised.
What is with that? He's all like out of nowhere. He's great.
It's amazing.
He's making it look friggin' easy, boys.
I know. The only thing he's not doing is hitting at all, which will come in time.
Yeah, that's a timing thing. Mm-hmm. Once he's going to wake. He's not going to be like Dion Phaneuf in his rookie season, just laying everyone out. It's going to come with time.
Learn the trade before you learn the tricks of the trade. Pilsy, a little CSM wisdom.
Yeah. Get your toolbox before you put your tools in it, or something like that along those lines.
No, add tools to the toolbox.
Yeah, exactly. I know maybe this is a lame answer, but I got Clevin starting in Belleville. I think it would do him some good
Patience, Pilsy.
to play. Yeah, exactly. Pillsy preaching patience. But not like you're spending the
Predictable.
season in Belleville. It's more like go down there, work on some parts of your game, get used to the pro level, start hitting guys, see how that goes, see how your timing is, how that feels to be going up against men instead of boys. Not that he hasn't in the NHL, but if you're going to ramp up the physicality and then earn your spot. Knock down that door, like knock out. I'm sure they'll re-sign Hamnick and DJ Smith. They'll have him in the opening lineup. So force DJ's hand if he's still around, and Dorion, and make sure that they have no option but to play you in the NHL. That's what I want to see from Clevin.
Speaking of Belleville, following tonight's game, Senators have announced they've reassigned Mad Sogaard, Max Gannett, and Igor Sokolov to the Belleville Senators. Man, I thought Igor showed well this call up. I think that he really showed well. Let's take a few more questions before we wrap up. Adam.
We got to shout out Adam here.
Adam,
God.
my guy. Absolutely unbelievable. Can't thank you enough. Everyone who's been with us all season, truly means a lot to us here. It really does. There's not much more that we can say than that. Go Sens, go. We'll be back, Adam. We're not going anywhere here.
Absolutely.
Who's the number one goalie next season? Martian, I'm giving you this one as the Martian himself, and then we got to let you go early morning next day. And we want to thank you as well for everything you've done this year in the Postcast. And you're going to be here in the summer. Hey, somebody even mentioned we should do Postcast for all of the Leafs losses in the playoffs. That'd be hilarious.
Well, I'd like to have some time off, Ross. If we're doing all the Leafs losses, we're going to be it's your team every day, twice a day.
I can't promise you. I can't promise you that I'll even be watching every single game that the Leafs are. Although I do tend to hate watch them quite a bit. So
it's fun.
If it's the right game, I'm all for it.
Yeah, game 7.
Yeah.
If we lose game 7, we will have a live stream right after.
Yes, guaranteed. Yeah. I'll drive down and I'll report live from the Leaf pile. How about that? Oh my God.
Are you calling it right now?
Well,
we're holding
I'll do it. Yeah. No, I'll do it. I'm doing it. If it's game 7,
security. If you're going to be doing that.
No, I'm going to wear a Leafs jersey.
You're going to go undercover and get interviews.
Yeah. Actually, no, I don't want to wear a Leafs jersey.
Just wear nothing. Like
that would actually be funny though if you did that.
Maybe
or wear your citizen shirt, because then it's like if you know, you know.
Yeah, okay, but it's not too obvious. Yeah, okay, good. I didn't want to promise to wear a Leafs jersey, but I was willing to do that.
That was kind of wild
for the content.
Martian, who's the Sens' number 1A goalie next season?
I don't think it's anybody who's currently on their team. I think they're going to have to bring in help. That's my answer. I think if you're looking at just the guys who are on the current roster right now, as long as Anton Forsberg's both knees recover okay, I don't know how that's going to be possible, but if that miracle happens and he ends up being the same goalie he was, I'm comfortable with him being the starter next season. But other than that, I think Sogaard needs more time, so I'd go with somebody else who we can bring in a trade or whatever. I don't know how you do that, but you got to bring in help, whether it's free agency or a trade in the offseason. That's probably the first thing I'd look at.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yep.
I think that's fair.
I'm with you, Martian.
Oh, you got a security team?
I do now. Look out.
You're going to need one. That's what you said.
I'm so far up on the chat. I'm like going to see all the questions. I'm going slow and steady, so I'm glad Pilsy's got that.
I got you.
Out. Everyone give some stick taps to Martian on the way out.
Buddy,
we can't thank you enough, man. We'll get you on in the next week or two. We need to get you and Meth on the same show sometime.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. We can do that.
But let's not tell Meth, and we'll bring Martian in.
Kind of like
yeah. That would be funny. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. That would be great. Hey, thanks, fellas. I appreciate everything you guys do too, and I appreciate the time. And I always enjoy coming on for the Postcast. I'm not sure how many I did this year. It's got to be like.
Do the math.
Good number.
I put it in the description for everyone you did. So if you just scroll through,
it's probably. I mean, I got. If I had to guess, I'd say I did half the games. So
yeah, I'd say probably 40.
Yeah,
I was gonna say over under 32.
I think I'll take the over on that probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I will too. Yeah.
Yeah. Just barely though, probably Pills. But yeah, great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I got a day tomorrow. So.
All right. Love you, buddy. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys. Thanks everyone in the chat. Love you guys.
All right. And there goes at Laleem's Martian. Make sure you're following him.
There goes my hero.
There goes my hero. Watch them as they go.
Nice.
That was good, eh? All right, let's take a couple more questions here. We got to save some for the pod tomorrow. We're recording bright and early. Pilsy's got a day. He's heading down to Toronto for the Blue Jays game. And if he were to get tickets, he'd be going to Game Time to get his tickets. Game Time. Locked On NHL, $20 off. Not bad. It's taken us so long to answer some of the questions that I've actually reached the top and they disappear after a while. So let's scroll down. Let's see what we got here. Let's see some questions. I think it was Bryson mentioned Alex DeBrincat. Of course, that's a great question. We're going to have so much time to get into.
Yeah, we will talk about Alex DeBrincat.
We will talk. Ron asked if we'll ever get details on Troy Mann's firing. He says Trent Mann, Troy Mann. He's under contract, I think, for the rest of this year, if not next too. It's best to just...
If he wants those paychecks to arrive in the mail every 2 weeks, he won't say a damn thing.
That's perfectly said there. All right, let's keep rolling in.
That is too bad because we really loved our conversation with Troy Mann.
And he seemed to like us.
Yeah, and what an intelligent hockey mind. So obviously it was some sort of non-hockey or off-ice kind of thing. Yeah.
So dumb. He'll bounce back. Sends Van and Van. What happens to JBD? He's going to hit the waiver wire if he's sent down. Yeah, that's a huge topic. Him and Lassie Thompson.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think he showed well, but is he a depth guy? Is he a seventh defenseman? Is he still a top 4 potential? I don't know, because he's no Jacob Chikrin. He's no Artem Zub. He's no Thomas Chabot. He's no Jake Sanderson. Hell, he's no Eric Brandstrom. Like, is he as good as Tyler Clevin?
Yeah, not necessarily. Well, yes, yeah, he is. I think that's fair to say he's as good as Tyler Clevin. And with the contract situation, I think you owe it to him to give him a better chance here. But one thing is, I don't want to see him as a 7th defenseman, Ross. He's a young defenseman. You've invested draft capital, and you cannot have him missing games. He's got to play games. So I think, depending on how much of a camp he has, how well of a camp he has, that's going to decide it. But I think we probably see him start in Belleville, and he's going to have to force his way up.
But if he starts in Belleville, he's on waivers. Like, anybody could just take him.
But he's going to be on waivers if he starts in the NHL too. No.
Only if he gets sent down.
Well, yeah.
Right. So he's either making the team out of camp next year, or anybody can have him.
What do you mean? If he goes up, he has to clear waivers?
No,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Docker? No, I'm saying he either makes the team out of training camp next year, or else anybody can have him.
Oh, you're talking right before the season even starts. Yeah. No, that's a fair point. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, true. I forgot that wrinkle. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Like, that's tough. I really see one of JBD and or Lassie Thompson need to be included in a trade here. I think it's just mutually best for both, and not necessarily saying that they're busts or they underachieved or nothing like that. That's not at all what I'm saying. They've just run out of room here. Like, we didn't I don't know, maybe some people expected Sanderson to be a number 1 defenseman right away. I expected him to make an impact and stay in the NHL and have a top 4 role, yes, but that's been huge. We didn't expect Jacob Chikrin to come in here. We weren't sure if Artem Zub was going to get re-signed. Travis Hamonic even seems like he can be a very useful veteran that can kind of round out the decor here. So there's simply not any more spots. Eric Brandstrom has shown really great this season. So it's not necessarily on them. It's just there's 6 defensemen. Well, not always. 11 and 7 is a thing. But there's only so many defense spots. And right now, the Senators, the decor is the least of their worries. Yeah, there's Guy. He would love that shout out.
11-7. Wait, while his picture's up, I mean, why have this if you're not going to use it?
Rest as a weapon.
The Sens will have plenty of time to rest now with the season coming to an end. Frank asks who some of our trade targets are this summer. That's another thing we'll get into as a full episode. Not to expand, and that's something that we want to do prep for and actually have proper answers and why, all that sort of thing. Seb saying he can't handle at least game 7. Oh, yeah, you can. Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah, you can handle it.
Oh, when Nick Paul does it all. Oh, that's what, yes, Kara's onto something. Wear your positive Pilsy shirt to go to the Leaf pile.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. Just
literally all these depressed fans staring at a big yellow smiley face. Kara, that is an all-time.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I'll be the street reporter. Oh my god, that'll be hilarious.
I need this to happen so badly. I need this to happen. Matthew's asking for Alex Stalock. I don't think that moves the needle in goal.
Nah. But again, I'd have to do my research here. So
Yeah, fair. I mean, he beat the Sens this year.
exactly. Oh, in front of my eyes, Ross. Oh my god. You looked like a Vezina trophy candidate from where I was sitting. Holy crap. Maybe that's what he's getting at there.
Yeah, this is a great one. Maybe we'll end off with this one for tonight because we got lots more to get to tomorrow. Dan asks what our favorite moment of the season was. How about this? How about together we draft a Mount Rushmore? So that way we're not taking the same one each.
Okay.
We each get to pick two, but we can't pick the same one. I think we each have the same number one.
Ooh, I'm interested in yours.
The home opener, the best Tuesday of your life.
Yes, but I was going to go even further, Ross. When they showed Alfie, oh my god. No, but I know, but like even I'll zoom in more. Like that moment right there. Like especially with, COVID stretch, you haven't been able to feel like you can band together with people that often, and now there's this arena was packed and everyone chills. You could feel the energy and the aura of Alfie when they showed him, and the Alfie chants were crazy. It was just like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Like it was one of those moments I will never forget. That moment, like it was all time. So I'm glad that's where you went, because that was my top.
John Abbott just texted me back. Couldn't keep mentioning it without giving you credit. Fun year. Can't wait for more. Talk to you soon.
Abs is awesome.
Home opener number one for me. You agree with that? Like that
yes, that was my choice. So yes,
and they beat the Boston Bruins, literally the team with the most wins in NHL history.
Yeah, and that was extra huge, Ross, because the Sens had started that season 0-2 on the road. If you go 0-3 and you lose that home opener,
must-win game.
Yeah, exactly. They got it, but that would have been just a dagger through Sens fans' hearts, especially after the hype of this summer.
Your pick. I know, there's some great moments to choose from, man. I know what my next.
Are we doing moments or games here then? Because we went with the game there.
My moment was the home opeper. Isn't that a moment? Like everything around it, from the meetup before, Alfie coming out.
Those are two moments right there. You've just proved your argument.
My moment is Tuesday, October 18th, I think it was. It's my moment.
You have a 24-hour moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I need a moment.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow. Okay, then I'm gonna go.
Let's use this loosely.
Okay, I'm gonna go with, and this is just what popped in my head, but the feeling was so crazy. Actually, no, changing my answer.
Remember, you're representing Locked On Senators.
I know. I can't be out here with these lame answers here. Brady Tkachuk versus the Detroit Red Wings. Who wants it? I mean,
and then
that was just so epic, because that's a division team you're up against. Those were two of the arguably the most meaningful games of the season. Stevie Y watched those games and was like, my God, we got to rebuild. Like, we aren't even thinking about adding at the deadline. Let's blow this whole team up. This franchise is not ready for playoffs after what we just witnessed. And for Brady to be the captain and all the Detroit players chirping him, and he's just like, okay, talk is cheap. Who wants it? I'll go down the whole bench. I'll look every one of you suckers in the eyes. Come get it. Who wants it? That was an epic moment. I was watching that sitting on my luggage at Pearson Airport. What a great time.
But you're on the way to Cabo. So, I mean,
I was not on the way to Cabo. I was 24 hours away from Cabo, and I'd spent the entire day in the most godless, soulless, depressing place on earth that is Toronto Pearson Airport.
I like that move, though. Like, hey, if we want to be real loose and fast with it, those two games against Detroit could be one.
Yeah, you got the stretched out moments.
My next one is a sequence. Is a sequence a moment?
No, dude. But we're gonna be loose and we're gonna have fun with this, so I'll allow it. But
the 5-on-3 penalty kill at home against San Jose. Claude Giroux comes out, goes in on a breakaway, and just wires a slap shot on a breakaway, and then after the game goes, yeah, well, I told Pinto I was going to score on a slap shot tonight.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
That was kind of fun. That PK,
they show Travis Hamonic after the slap shot goes in. He's like hands on his knees. Him and Jake Sanderson had been out there for 2 minutes. They each had 3 blocked shots. They were eating pucks. And then all of a sudden, we're getting a word of the day moment.
I put the definition in there for you, Ross.
Oh man, we need to have a moment here.
Want me to do it? Moment, a noun, a very Ross, a very brief moment of time. Ooh, nice laugh track in there.
Moment. It's so funny. Jimmy Stu,
Stu, our guy
from Mexico. That was a lot of fun. Ferg, we're gonna remember you every day, brother. Come on. So that was good. So that's my second moment.
Okay.
Is Claude Giroux breakaway slap shot and beating Erik Karlsson in Ottawa. That's always great too.
Okay.
Is
I
nice.
like that. That wasn't even on my radar. That's a nice callback. I like that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go with and Jimmy Stu. You kind of inspired this. The Ottawa Senators have acquired Jacob Chychrun from the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, that was again one of those times where, Pierre Dorion's got to find a defenseman. Pierre Dorion looking for defenseman.
We're a team.
He was trying to build a team. And the top guy targeted all season, essentially. This guy is young. He has years left on his deal. He's on a good contract. He loves the Ottawa area. He wants to come to a different team. He asked for a trade out of Arizona. And not only did Pierre Dorion get him, but what I love most about the Chychrun acquisition is Dorion stuck to his guns. So many teams were trying to get him. The price was high. It was way too high. Everyone knew that. So everyone was like, this price is too high. It's not budging. We're going to go get Dmitry Orlov. We're going to go get Gabrikov. We're going to go find a different defenseman because we can't pay that price. Dorion stuck to his guns. He said, you're not getting Pinto. You're not getting Ridley Gregg. And my God, you're not getting my adopted son, Tyler Clevin. He's an untouchable. Don't even think about asking him in this trade. So he waited and he got rewarded with not a single roster player off the team, not even a single prospect, just picks. What are picks? Picks are for losers. Who needs them?
12th overall, it's going to be.
Who cares? We got Jacob Chychrun on the Ottawa Senators, and for us to be able to go through that and be in Cabo, the vibes were all-time high. I was bored. No, I was on the plane, Ross, in Houston. The captain was literally saying, turn your devices to airplane mode, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was getting ding, 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 dings. I was like, oh no, what happened here? Ross did something stupid in Cabo. We got to bail him out of Mexican jail or something. Nope. Just Jacob Chychrun coming to the Ottawa Senators. And then I took off and landed and got to break it down. Making history. The only, and we're confident saying this, Ross, the only ever recorded Ottawa Senators podcast from Cabo, Mexico. And it was an all-time vibe. So that's right up there for me.
I was literally checking into the hotel when I got the message. I went right to the room. Well, grabbed a pint, went right to the room. And I was like, we got to go live right now. And we had 850 people live in the chat. It was absolutely sad. I'm so glad you brought that up because that is 100% a top 4 moment. So our top 4 moments, very loose and fast. Top 4 moments, right, DJ?
Yes. Ha ha ha. Yes.
Yeah. Top 4 moments going into this season, off season, home opener. Brady Tkachuk just ending the Detroit Red Wings season, if not franchise, some people are saying. Claude Giroux, slap shot after an unreal PK.
Yep.
And Jacob Chychrun's an Ottawa Senator. Sanderson's asking, do we have honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got one. You
Brady
go first.
Tkachuk at MSG.
That was it. Nice. Hell yeah. That was it.
And Nicholas Price meant Chris Neil retirement game. I know it ended poorly, but that Chris Neil retirement game was also
true.
So good up until the end. Like Brady absolutely killed a guy. Brady
and did the Selly.
And that's what we were asking right before the game. Is he going to do it? And he did.
Yeah, it was incredible. And the fact that Brady Tkachuk fighting Jacob Trouba at center ice at Madison Square Garden, like there have been a lot of big events to happen there, and that just felt showtime. Like that was captain on captain. Let's see what you're made of, man on man. And you can't get a bigger stage, and Brady absolutely pummels Jacob Trouba in front of everyone. Epic.
Do you have any other that jump into your mind? I want people in the chat to let us know as well. Oh, Jimmy Stu saying DeBrincat's fight against Philly. That was great.
That cat got that dog in him. I was not ready for that from Alex DeBrincat because he won that fight easily.
Oh, so easily. That was Joel Farabee, right?
Yes, yeah. This one's a little selfish and a little biased, but that Igor goal was special. I mean, Igor's been our guy. He messaged us the day of, and we said, we got your back, buddy. You tweeted out Igor goal happening tonight. We're in the building. Not only is it his first NHL goal, but it's an absolute beauty. We get to see Igor after the game to celebrate with him. That was an all-time moment, Ross. Not just as Sens fans, but for our podcast. As that was a lot of fun to take part of, and to kind of share that amazing moment with Igor was pretty special.
Hot Lunch mentioning Derek Brassard's 1,000th game, scores 2 goals at MSG. That we were in Cabo for that, so that kind of goes into the vibes from there. That was
Big
all
time.
I don't know if Ryan Reynolds' speculation counts as a moment. If you want to say the game he went to, one of them, but that doesn't make the list.
The Vancouver one was not a good moment.
No. Oh, this one.
Yo, Fergalicious, that was a great moment. Agreed.
Yeah, Sens fan and Van just said the Gordie Howe hat trick for NYC with the OT winner. That was huge.
Unbelievable. Another honorable mention for me. This is pinned to my Twitter profile at Brandon Pillar 1. That LA game, Tim Stützle to Claude, very similar to the goal we saw tonight. That same setup too. Wow, with that both clicked for us at the same time. That's awesome. But Claude Giroux finishing that off, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, this isn't just a plug to my Twitter. Go watch it with the Celine Dion "My Heart Will Go On" music behind it. It's a beautiful moment.
Oh my God. I'm gonna miss this season.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to move towards next season. It felt like we were playing catch up the whole time. I hope they can figure out a way to get a better start so that it won't be a come from behind situation in December and January and beyond. But man, when they really got themselves back into the mix, this was just an awesome.
We thought this team was dead, Ross. I think both of us declared it. I mean, my God, we were doing the tankathon spins on the postcast. That's where we were at. And this team made it to meaningful games with only 4 games left. So, you know what? You got to give, and the injuries are insane. Ross, you had to make the font smaller for the injury list on our lines chart. That's how out of hand it got. So, the effort and the kind of courage that this team showed, and next man up mentality, and guys coming in like Fergie unexpected and having a big impact on the team, that was a really awesome part of this season. Then this was a really fun season just overall.
Final honorable mention. I think it's because of recency bias that we haven't mentioned. It's too close, but Jason T points out Claude Giroux's 1,000th point. Like that could even almost be in the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, big time. That definitely makes it up there. That was awesome.
And 1,100th game tonight. Yeah.
Career high in goals.
An amazing
Only
season.
In Ottawa.
An amazing season for Locked On Senators. Next season, amazing for the Ottawa Senators. We have so much to get to all summer long. It starts tomorrow on Locked On Senators. We hope to see you there. Pilsy, any final thoughts on tonight's game? I mean, this week we went so big picture tonight, but anything from tonight's game beyond the 2 milestones that were hit, 90 points for Stützle, 35 goals for Giroux, that you're going to bring a lasting impression into the offseason?
I mean, kind of like you mentioned, Ross, it's very indicative of this season. They start off down bad. They make a big push back. They have a little bit of ground. They lose it. Oh, it's not over quite just yet. And then it collapses on them. So I don't know. Maybe that sounds too negative, but the thing is, they're right there. This team is right there. And I have more confidence than honestly I've had since the pizza line days. Even the 2017 team, that felt more like it was like pesky Sens, hardworking attitude that gets them there rather than a full, complete roster. Whereas this team just seems set up for success. The culture is amazing here. The Sens fans are back. The CTC is being packed at a more consistent rate than it has been in a long time. So a new owner's coming in, like things just feel different. I know we've probably said it's darkest before the dawn prematurely and too often on this podcast, but it really does seem like that we're moving into a new era here, and I can't wait for this to happen.
Well said. Very well said. Guys, leave comments on our YouTube videos, and we'll be sure to get to them throughout the offseason. We'll do some specific mailbag episodes as well. Locked On Senators, we're staying 5 days a week all the way through free agency, so don't worry.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. But Pilsy, stick taps to us, buddy. We got through, I think we did 79, if not 80 live streams this year for Postcast. That's unbelievable consistency, and it's all worth it when we see the types of responses that we get. So go
it's
Sens.
so much fun.
Sens fans are the best. They really are.
Yeah.
You guys are generous. You're informed. You're smart. You guys bring challenge us to be better as well. And it's just I can't say enough about how lucky we are that we're in the position that we get to chat with you guys after
Blessed.
every game and kind of follow this team in what has been tumultuous we've done this show for 7 years, and 6 of them, they've been one of the worst. Well, 4 of them, they've been one of the worst teams ever. Then they got okay. And this year they were fun.
Yep.
Next year, what's it going to be?
Ooh.
Let's get some Go Sens go in the chat. We appreciate you all so very much. For Brandon Pillar and at Laleem's Martian, I'm Ross Levitan, and this has been the final postcast of the 2022-23 season, and it's all been brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. The Glebe Central Pub is at 779 Bank Street, and when you go there, let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. Appreciate all the kind words. Young Zachary, Sen Central citizen right there. Citizens
Love
are
you guys.
back as of next week. We love you guys
Yep.
truly, and we will talk to you tomorrow. It's so funny. It's like we're saying goodbye, and then we're going to be here.
Ross,
tomorrow.
we're recording in like 9 hours.
See you there. This has
See you
been the
soon.
Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.